So I've been teaching in a public school for 2.5 months. I had covered for a teacher on maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you Friday was my last day and half the class across the board was bawling, and I'm still in the building as a sub, but they were crying that I was not their teacher anymore. And the other two ladies in the science department kept coming in and out of my classroom to like catch me alone, to talk to me before their friend, the maternity leave teacher, comes back, because they've all been working together for 20 years. They would be like, "Why are you crying? What's the matter with you?" And I was like, "Well, nothing's the matter with me." They're like, "Well, you look like you're crying." I said, "Well, yeah, the kids are, kind of got to me today." And they were like, "Got to you about what?" And I was like, "About the transition." They were like, "But you're a sub." They knew.
They
I was
still
like, "But you
get
see,
it.
you don't know what I did in here. And this is the proof of it. Look at all the letters they wrote me." And I was only in the classroom 2.5 months.
They can't fathom that a teacher came in there and actually had an impact.
A sub.
A sub came in there and actually had an impact. You got a purse full of handwritten letters.
I got gifts. Students. They bought me gifts.
Wow. Holy shit. They basically hit you with Christmas, like, for kids.
So when the white ladies walked into my room to catch me alone before the little homegirl came back yesterday, every time they came in, there were kids in my room, people crying, and more gifts on my desk. And they were like bewildered. They were like, "What is going on in here? Why is this happening?" I said, "Because the kids are having a hard time with the transition." "Why? Why?" "They knew you were a sub." I said, "I know, but they're having why? I don't understand. What's everybody upset about?" I was like, "Wow. So you insulted me and the kids in one shot. Thanks."
Yeah.
They have no clue until when I tell you their mouths dropped when they saw those bags on my chair. They were like, what
Did you have to
is going on?
explain to them first? Like, yeah, these are gifts that the kids got me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you crying? Why are they upset? Bawling. I said, and now they started Googling me. So now they found out about what happened at De Anza and all this other shit, which only riled them up more.
Oh, it did.
And I had to talk them down.
Who is them? Who is them? The kids?
The kids.
Oh.
They were like, "Your students protested." I said, "Don't even think about it." And one girl started a protest. And the only way I could shut her down, I literally took off one of my Tiffany bracelets and I put it on her arm. And I said, "Look, it is not lost on me what you're about to do. Believe me when I tell you that. Don't do it." 2.5 months I was in that classroom. That's it.
God bless those kids, man.
I'm not even kidding. These letters, I was bawling my eyes out at what they wrote. I could not believe. How could I have an impact like this in 2.5 months as a sub?
And you were going half speed. Like, that's the thing. You weren't going full. That's the part they don't get.
Jay, I swear to you, not a single day was I in that school past 3:00.
Yeah, right.
I didn't go to parent teachers night. I don't go to their professional developments. I don't do tutoring with the kids. I don't meet with them after school. Nothing. This is just the 42 minutes in the classroom for 2.5 months. No one in all of my classes is failing. The lowest grade is an 82.
And that's not because you just gave them easy grades. You taught them how to study. You made them do study guides, which is something they've never done before.
And this lady came in and said, "Oh, Miss Kavanaugh didn't do the hurricanes project with you guys." And they were like, "What's that?" And she was like, "You're supposed to draw a hurricane." Draw. You heard me.
You're supposed to.
And that department, they hate me because the kid said to her, "What's your style of teaching?" And she got offended. She said to them, "I've been teaching for 20 years and no one's ever asked me that." And I am not egging. I literally took my bracelet off and said to this girl, "Don't tell any of the kids I gave you this bracelet because they will fucking die. I understand what you are about to unleash on this school is not lost on me. Please don't do this. Don't do it." 2.5 months, Jay. Can you imagine if I had them for a year?
About time they Googled you. They found out what your maiden name was. They found out that maiden name.
Well, they typed in Tahisha.
Showed up, and they was like, "Holy shit." Everywhere she's went, the students love her and the adults can't stand her. And the students are literally willing to walk out and protest to keep
They found my album, my music album from 15 years ago. They were like, "Is this you?" And I keep pretending I don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, "Who is that?" It's clearly me with my name Tahisha on it. And I'm like, "Wow, she kind of looks like me." They're like, "Is this you?" I'm like, what are you talking about? That's all I keep saying to them. What are you talking about? Anyway, and I would just like turn to something. And then they were like, what happened to De Anza High School in California? Your kids shut that school down. I was like, don't even, when I tell you, don't think I do nothing but diffuse all day long. So I've been subbing this week, like in other classes. They have all been coming to my room because teachers have been absent. So if they're teachers, they all come to my room. So now the teachers in the hallway are like, how do all these kids know you if you're just a sub? And I said, well, I subbed a few classes because the pandemonium in my classroom doesn't make sense to anybody.
Right.
And they follow me everywhere I am in the school. They track me down and they text me, what room are you in? What room are you in? And now I got 10, 20 of them coming in my room. I run out of there lunchtime and I go home to my apartment.
Because they want to hang out with Miss Kavanaugh.
Bawling. When I tell you people are bawling, inconsolable on Friday. And these bitches coming out, well, what is everybody crying about? What are they crying about? I don't understand. What are they upset about? They know you're a sub.
That's the best teacher they've ever had, and they only had her for 2.5 months.
They said, we don't even need another teacher at all. Can't you just teach us all the subjects?
Can't you? I mean, because that's the thing.
I said, well, I could teach you history.
You cover them.
I could do history, algebra, apparently, intro to earth science, law, finance, and English. They're like, why can't we just get our work and come to you to learn it?
There you go.
I said, because these teachers have contracts. I don't talk poorly about the teacher. I said, she specializes in this. You'll be lucky to have both of us. They walked out of her class for one period. They said, first of all, she says, like 27 times. And you told us not to say that. The educated people don't talk like that. I was like, second of all, they said she plays a PowerPoint and a video and sits in her chair. That's it. They said, after you think we can deal with that?
And this is why they hate you. This is why those teachers hate you, because you raise the bar and they want to put the video on. They want to go through the PowerPoint and that's it. The same PowerPoint and same video they've been doing for the last 20 years. And you might actually, raise the bar and raise expectations. They don't want that.
They're like, that's why the lady said, I've been doing this for 20 years. And they were like, that's the wrong answer because whoever you were teaching 20 years ago is not us.
There you go.
But why do the kids have to tell you, the teacher, that? Don't you know that?
Yeah, don't you know what the fuck your teaching style is? By now, if
they don't give a shit.
20 years.
They don't give a shit. And now the kids know what it looks like when a teacher gives a shit. And I had them from September to Friday.
That's it.
Bawling. I got dresses, jewelry, flowers, pie, cupcakes, candy.
Are you serious?
I have 116 students. I probably have 80 letters.
Wow.
Bawling.
These kids were really out here crying.
They were like, you're the fucking one. They were like, why don't they just give the school to you?
Why don't they? Now, did you have any final conversations with those administrators you've been dealing with?
No, because the principal ignored me because he sides with those white ladies, but I killed it in the classroom. So how do you juxtapose being a dick to me when I crushed it in the classroom, but they don't like it? So He avoided me. I asked him for 3 days for an exit meeting. He's no time.
He had, let's just reiterate that because I'm about to lose it. This nigga, he is a black man who is the principal of this school, refused to even set up even a 15-minute exit interview with you after you've been there 2.5 months and you've had this level of impact. Given all of the praise that he's heard about you from the assistant principals. He refused to eat. He didn't even talk to you. And you've been asking him for 3 days for a fucking exit interview.
And he finally only talked to me yesterday morning when, funny enough, human nature, this is why you got to understand and study people.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get to anybody until you ignore them. So I walked in yesterday to do my assignment for this week because I'm contracted as a sub until Wednesday.
Oh, wait.
And he's in the office at the same school.
For another class.
Just for 3 days, like wherever they put you. But then that's it.
Cool.
Like
they just threw you an extra couple days.
Right. Like your long-term contract for this position ended Wednesday, just cover some classes since she's back.
Right.
So I sit in the main office where his office is and the secretary's in the main thing. And I open a book and I read. And as subs are coming in and trying to find this, and you hear people chatting and gossiping, I literally am just sitting in a corner like I'm in a Paris restaurant with a cup of coffee reading a book.
There you go.
And suddenly, who do you think comes over and says, hey, let's talk? What's up? Oh, now that I'm ignoring you.
Yeah, so now that you're not emailing him and asking for time and da-da-da. Wow.
Because people are people. So we go have a meeting. He said, how was your experience? I said, my experience with the kids was great. He said, oh. How was your overall experience? And I said, like I said, my experience with the kids was great.
Right, trying to bait you into saying something negative. How do you think it went? Since you've been up her at, you've been up to
you tell me how it went.
Yeah, why don't you tell me?
So then he specifically asked me, said like something along the lines of how did it go with the rest of the department? And I said, well, considering what I achieved in that classroom as a sub, let alone blow out half the regular teachers you have in this school, I would say the energy level was lackluster. That's what I said. I mean, lackluster is sort of a neutral word.
And that was in reference to?
What's my experience with the team?
With the team.
And I said, lackluster at best, at worst, cold. I said, but I get it. They've been working together for decades, and I'm the new girl on the block. I said, which quite frankly, I don't care about. What I do care about is the fact that I did a good job in that classroom, and there's no acknowledgement of that.
None.
None.
Did you tell them that?
Yes. I said, and I sent everybody samples of what the kids did. Like their study guides are 28 pages long, and no one responded to that email.
Was he on that email too?
Everybody was. And I sent examples of the study guides across all 5 of my classes. So you could see it's not one class or fluke.
We talked about that. Yeah. It's not just one fluke class of just really, really studious kids.
No, all 5 of my classes are performing at the very lowest level at a B. 80%. Lowest. When I was doing the grades, one of the teachers was showing me how to use the system. And she said, let me show you how to plug in grades for kids who have 65 or lower. And when I tell you, I looked at her and said, there will be no need for that conversation. There are no kids failing this class.
Mm-mm.
How's that possible? I'm not going to let them. They can't.
Mm-mm.
The first assignment they miss, I'm on top of them. Why are you missing this? Bring it tomorrow. Be accountable for yourself. I made them do extra credit, extra points. And I said, extra credit for my class tilts your whole grade. I said, it's not about one assignment. You could get anywhere between a 90 and 100 on all your tests and get an A in this class. It's not about one grade. It's your overall body of work. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a good quiz, do good homework. If you don't have good homework, then nail the lab. If you don't nail the lab, nail the test. You don't nail the test, nail the study guide, because they all matter.
Right. And
then you see, get in the castle. Nobody said it has to be through the front door. Believe me, once you're in, nobody cares how you got in.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. That's very true, even for career shit.
Yeah. Just get in. So we crushed it. And the response from the team is poo-poo. Instead of being like, wow, thank you for keeping our kids up to grade level so that when this teacher walks in, there's very little catch up she has to do. After all, this subject matter isn't even my expertise. I had to learn.
Yeah.
And I took it seriously. And their reaction to me is cold. Because they'll play the videos, get on Khan Academy, here's an Ed Puzzle link. The end.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube has made a lot of the actual act of teaching, at least what people used to do before YouTube, when they would just get on with chalk and shit, the bare necessities that you were handed, actually. Like YouTube's made it so much easier because you can just throw on Khan Academy for free to teach.
It's shameful.
You just stand there.
It's shameful. Where I didn't have a projector for 2 months, so I had no choice but to teach. But even if I had a projector, I would have taught anyway. And the kids say they like it because it's much more interactive rather than just sit there, watch a video. Here's a packet. That's it. 95% of public school teachers.
Here's a worksheet where here's some sentences and you just fill in the blanks that were just quotes from the video you just watched.
Shameful.
The Earth is the third. You write in third planet from the sun because we just watched this stupid video about the thing and da.
Shameful.
Draw a hurricane.
Yeah. Whereas when
talented school.
This is the gifted school. This is supposed to be one of the best performing schools in the area that I'm in.
Yeah, you have to have a certain GPA to even be considered for this school.
Yes.
It's still a public school.
And it's still a public school. And the saddest part about it is that this curriculum is a 5th grade curriculum in at least 12 other countries.
Yes.
I talked to the kids about that. I said, those of you who are straight A students Don't pat yourself on the back just yet. You're straight A against fifth graders.
Yeah. You have projects like draw a hurricane as a ninth grader. Being asked to draw a hurricane in earth science. Are you kidding me?
You're not drawing shit in my class.
At the
Get out your
gifted and talented
computers.
school.
Get out your computers. Microsoft Word for Windows. Learn how to use Google Docs. This is a table of contents. This is a title page. This is alphabetical order. There needs to be 12 categories because we covered 12 themes. Put it in order. All the scientists' names, spell their names right. I said, if you could spell Kardashian, you better learn how to fucking spell Einstein.
Tell them.
And I ain't mad at those girls. Working ass girls. But learn how to spell Einstein. Learn how to say Dr. Tu Yu. Learn how to say Hypatia. Learn how to say Carl Sagan. Learn how to say Louis Pasteur, where pasteurized milk comes from. Learn how to say these names. And I had names from around the world. Muslim women, Iranian doctors, Egyptian doctors. People come from everywhere. We learn from everywhere. Science is the universal language of human beings. Science and math. It's the only two languages that everybody speaks in the whole world.
Yep.
2 + 2 is 4, no matter where you land in this planet. Learn these languages. Get savvy in it. And get like, and so out of your mouth. I'm a professional and I'm a woman. Speak to me as such. And they do it. All you have to do is demand it from them. They will do it. And the thing is, they'll do it willingly. Now it's a joke to them. They love it. When people say like, everybody laughs. Oh my God, they start their sentences over. They love it. And yet you walk into any classroom, they say like, and so. Nobody corrects them. Why? Because the teachers talk the same way.
The teachers talk the same way.
Shameful.
And they don't hold anyone to a higher standard.
Yes. The sub, who they don't think that they have to show any respect to. They treat me with as much respect as the janitor, who keeps our school clean and COVID free.
But won't pick up the rat pellets.
No, but wipes my board down every day. Every day the board wiped. The beakers in the sink, 6 months sitting there. The apathy that has ripped through education is appalling. And these schools are lucky I don't have a kid in the school.
Oh, you tear that thing down. You tear that motherfucker down.
It'd be scorched earth or they'd be homeschooled. I'm like, you're not getting involved in this. No. Yeah. And it doesn't make me a racist or a bigot to say, I don't want my kids going to school with kids who aren't serious.
Word. The apathy. So wait, the janitor, he wipes the board, but the beakers that are in the sink, he doesn't pick up. You had rat pellets that you had to personally ask multiple times to be picked up because they had been there from over the summer. And the janitor or whoever the equipment person is, they couldn't get you a projector until your last, 30 days, your last, 15 days, 30 days or whatever. The first 2 months, you didn't have a projector.
No. I put everything on the board and erased it. And by the way, when I say board, I mean blackboard, like from the 70s, not a whiteboard with markers. I mean, yellow chalk.
This is supposed to be the gifted and talented school, and the janitor won't even bother to clean the beakers or pick up the rat poop.
No, but the wiping of the board nails it.
Clean.
I don't know why.
Give yourself a raise.
Every school, there's a janitor who does it. I don't know what it is with the janitors and cleaning that board. You have literally all the teachers have like a big cardboard note on the board that says do not erase, because for some, you will have a board full of written work and they will wipe that whole board down.
Oh, so was this person wiping the board even though you didn't want them to?
Yes. I had to put the sign, do not erase. I thought that was a given because there's work all over it.
Right.
And then I'd come in the next morning and the board would be wiped down, like washed with soap, like what, like wet.
What the fuck?
And I'd be like, what made you think the board with all the work on it is what should be cleaned, but not the rat droppings and not the beakers?
And there's literally a sign that says do not erase. Because even in corporate offices, we have whiteboards and we have a little sign. And if you don't want you know what you wrote on this, on this whiteboard erased, you take that, it's a magnet, stick it right there, and they won't touch it. It is. You have to make sure
if you don't put that sign up, that board's getting cleaned. It doesn't occur to them that when there's work on it, don't clean it. I don't know.
But it sounds like they're cleaning it even when you have the sign up, which is even.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. The apathy is shameful. I don't understand the relaxed nature of parents don't go to school board meetings. They do not go to parent teachers night junior year or senior year. After sophomore year, the parent drop off is 70%.
No, yeah, the kids have cars now and shit, and they just don't.
It doesn't matter.
But now I don't have to drive the kid around.
Support. But that's when they need more support because they're becoming young adults.
Right.
And they're driving now, which can kill somebody. And they're making credit card decisions and they're making lifelong decisions. They actually need more attention in high school, in my opinion, than any other grade. When I taught elementary school, they're one of three places: the yard, the bathroom, or eating a snack. That's it. High school, they're cutting. They're renting out their cars so kids can have sex. They're behind the school smoking weed. Come on. They're joining gangs. They're carrying guns. What my elementary school kids are like, when's recess? That's it.
Real talk. Is it going to be dodgeball or soccer today? That's all your concern is at fucking elementary school.
JoJo had the basketball last time. I won't share. Oh my God, please get me the ball. That's the biggest issue I have. High school, one of my students used to rent out his BMW for $20 an hour so kids could have sex in it. And this is where parents think they should let go of the reins? You got to be kidding me. I wish I could teach a fucking class. Where are you, parents? Why are you at football games?
Renting out his BMW so other kids could hook up in it.
Bro.
That's actually not a bad hustle.
Not a bad hustle at all. And I heard he made a killing. What kills me, why will parents show up to football games, but not parent-teachers night, when no one from this football team is going pro? So this is not the most important branch on the tree. They'll show up to football games, but not to board meetings, to meet the people who are making the decisions about the teachers that are in the classrooms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, parents don't go to school board meetings at all.
And then we wonder why the people who never wanted our kids to go to school with their kids in the first place aren't doing the most that they can, are not most diligent for our children. Really? Totally. This is schizophrenic thinking. This is nuts.
And it just bothers me so much. This is where my like libertarian leaning side kind of comes out. It just bothers me so much that like the people that are undermining you, that are questioning you, that are not showing you any appreciation, that don't seem interested at all in learning from the success that you've had, and are actually really hoping, trying to push you out and didn't do anything to welcome you in, and are gladly pushing you out, and also cannot fathom that you could do a good job. Those people are the ones that are going to have a full pension after this because of the tuition.
That's the sad. That's what makes people anti-union.
2 times how much they make, twice as much as you make if you break it down on an hourly basis, and they're going to have.
I'm making minimum wage for this role. I make minimum wage.
Exactly.
With a master's degree, so they could treat me like the janitor because I'm not one of them, even though I rocked them.
Yeah, exactly. You outperform them, and then you would think if they want to be good teachers, they would want to learn. Wait a second. This person had a really good impact. Maybe I should take a look at those study guides. Maybe let's figure out what she's doing that's working. Wow, somebody asked me a question I've never been asked in 20 years. I should be excited about that as a teacher.
They don't care. You know why they don't care? Because their kids don't go to that school.
But it's the gifted and talented school. So like parents drop their kids off and everything's supposed to be fine, right?
Where are parents? If you actually walked into a school and saw the condition of it, I honestly don't understand how you could send your kids there. Because I'll tell you this much. If I got a kid going to school, it ain't going to be in a classroom with rat droppings on the floor.